economic influence. Now, we must be able to work out the breadth of the economic cycle, or the economic cycle itself. What it does, it measures economic activity over time. So output is the amount of goods and services produced in a whole economy over a period of time. When economic activity increases, we have an upturn leading to a boom. So in this time, there's lots of money in the economy, people are spending lots, unemployment is low, and inflationary pressures tend to be higher. When we talk about a downturn, like we're experiencing in Australia at the moment, there's less economic activity, there's more unemployment and lower inflation. Let's have a look at the economic cycle in detail. We'll start with the boom end of the cycle. So this is an upswing where there's increased profits for businesses, and as I said before, there's more income in the economy. So there's obviously rising economic growth. There's more economic output. We have falling unemployment. As there are more demand for goods and services, firms need more people to work for them, and therefore the unemployment queues drop. The level of spending increases in the economy. Just imagine if people are now off the dole queues, they're now earning more money, they've got more disposable income, therefore the demand for goods and services increase, i.e. the spending on goods and services increase. We have increased production levels. There's increased demand for goods and services. It means that businesses have increased orders and therefore increased production, and for the increased production they obviously need more labour, and so on. One downside of this scenario is that we have rising inflation. So inflation is the measure of rising prices, and that is an economic ill, if you like. Businesses like to have predictable economic situations, but in rising inflation, the levels of return in the future can be less certain. Now let's have a look at the recessionary cycle. So that's when the economic cycle goes down. We have rising unemployment. So at the moment, in our manufacturing sector, for example, we've had the pressures of the high dollar and decreasing economic activity, which has led to people being laid off in our manufacturing sector. That's just one example. People get laid off and spending decreases. When the economy goes down, people tend to worry about the future, and they tend to save a bit more, and their discretionary spending, or spending on luxury items, tends to decrease as well. Because of that, there's decreased profits for businesses. So in leaner times, businesses have to make decisions to cut costs. That's my next point. So when the economy goes down, the orders aren't coming in, demand isn't there, businesses have to cut costs, and in some instances, unfortunately, they have to let go of some of their staff, which is my next point. In extreme circumstances, the workforce may need to be cut costs to maintain profitability, and that's a really difficult thing to do. Now, having looked at all that, I want you to please check your understanding. It's on page 69 and 70. In particular, there's just one question there. Question 4 I'd like you to do, please. So pause it now, consolidate your understanding, and then once you're finished, go forward to the next section. Now that's all of the external influences. Let's have a look at the internal influences.